Hello dear students, today's new topic is laws of chemical combination. Laws of chemical combinations are many types of laws we study in that, like laws of conservation of mass, laws of definite proportion, laws of multiple proportion. Let's study one by one. First is law of conservation of mass. This we have already studied, just a brief introduction. It was given by Antoine Lavoisier. He is also considered as father of chemistry in 1774. During any physical or chemical change, the total mass of products obtained is always equal to the total mass of reactants taken at the beginning. This law states, mass of products obtained will be equal to mass of reactants which we have taken at the beginning. So what conclusion we get from this? That is, the matter is neither created nor destroyed. But it may change from one form to another. For example, if we take calcium carbonate, when it is burnt in air, then if we take these values are not taken randomly, okay? These values are given by experiments. 100 gram calcium carbonates burns in air, then it produces calcium oxide 56 gram and carbon dioxide gas 44 gram. If we add these values, we get again back 100 gram. This shows that 100 gram mass taken initially is equal to the mass obtained after the reaction. Here it was solid, which we took earlier. Here which we got, that is again solid, but here it is a gas. So form is also changed. Okay, but is this law is perfect, applicable everywhere? No. In normal conditions, this rule is valid. But in the case of E is equal to mc square, you must have heard about this equation that is called Einstein equation. By this equation, it was told that if any object is moving at the speed of light, c is speed of light, m is the mass of object, and E is the energy. So at speed of light, the mass also varies of any object, because this is a very high speed. Okay, so here this rule doesn't valid. All the other normal conditions, this rule is valid. Okay, our next topic, that is the law of definite proportion. First of all, it was given by Proust in 1799. What it says a chemical compound, no matter from which source it is obtained, means maybe from nature or it is synthesized in the lab, will always contains the same elements combined together in the same definite proportion by mass. Same definite proportion by mass. This is the law of definite proportion. Let's understand this with some examples. Like here I have taken, in this equation you see, when carbon dioxide is produced by burning coal in the air, then or calcium carbonate burnt, then also carbon dioxide is produced. In both the cases, carbon dioxide, the ratio, we know the atomic mass of carbon is 12 and atomic mass of oxygen is 16. There are 2 atoms of oxygen, so it will become 16 to the 32. If we simplify it, 4 3s are 12, 4 8s are 32. So the ratio becomes 3:8. This rule was first proved by Stas. He verified this law by doing some experiments. But in 1913, Soddy discovered isotopes. When the isotopes were discovered, it was found that this law is only valid for the compounds made from specified isotopes. Why? Let's see. Carbon has 3 isotopes, that is carbon 12, carbon 13 and carbon 14. If we take carbon dioxide, by seeing the formula we cannot decide that it has the mass 12 here or 14 here. So if in each case we consider, then for carbon 12 the mass ratio will become 3:8. If we take carbon 13 atom, the mass ratio will become 13:32. Or if we take carbon 14, then the mass ratio will be 7:16. And these all are correct by the formula carbon dioxide gas. But here you have take, because we have taken different isotopes, so the ratios are different. So for the definite proportion of law, it is specified that we should, if anybody asks you that law of definite proportion valid only for the specified isotopes, means you say that carbon 12 atom is involved for making carbon dioxide, or for carbon 13 the ratio will remain this, or for carbon 14 ratio will become this. The third law of multiple proportion says this. It was given by Dalton in 1804. What it says, now this is a very important topic because this you are studying first time, so please listen very carefully. When two elements combine to form two or more compounds, let's see with the example so that you can understand it more clearly. Carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, both are formed by carbon and oxygen. So when two elements combine to form two or more compounds, the different masses of one element which combine with the fixed mass of the other element. You see here, carbon atomic mass is 12, oxygen 16, but here carbon 12, and because two atoms of oxygen are there, so it will become 32. So means different masses of one element combined with the fixed mass of the other element. Then it bears, means this ratio also bears a simple ratio. If we take the 16 ratio 32, or we will simplify it first, means it will become 4 ratio 8, or more further simplify, it will become 1 ratio 2, which is a very simple ratio. Let's understand this with a very pronounced example of nitrogen and oxygen compounds. We know that nitrogen is found with oxygen in many forms. N2O, NO, nitrogen dioxide, here that is the dinitrogen oxide, mononitrogen oxide, N2O3, NO2, N2O5. In all the cases, if we take the atomic masses, okay, in all the cases. So here first of all, what the rule is there, that different masses of one element. If we take different masses of oxygen and combines with fixed mass of the other element. But here nitrogen mass is also not fixed. So first we will fix it. How? Here and here the value is 14. Let's multiply this whole value by 12. This whole value, by 2. Multiply by 2. It will become 22 ratio 32 and 28 ratio 64. 28 ratio 32, right? So now if we see here, this rule is followed now. The different masses of oxygen with the fixed mass of nitrogen. So if we take the ratio of these values here, you see these will follow a simple ratio on simplifying, 1 ratio, 2 ratio, 3 ratio, 4 ratio and 5. But now this rule is also valid only for particular isotopic forms in all compounds, because if we do not take isotopic forms, same isotopic, like we know that oxygen is also have different isotopes. One is oxygen has 16 atomic mass, one has 18. So here we are considering only atomic mass of atom of oxygen element which is having atomic mass 16. Okay, so this is the law of multiple proportion.